Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in. And I apologize, I've been super busy at work, so I haven't been able to put any videos together, and I'm just getting a little bit more time on my hands, so I wanted to kind of take you guys through what I've been doing. And so totally not the car's fault, it's more my fault than anything else, but the right rear caliper of my 2007 S8 locked up on me, not altogether, but it was making a lot of grinding sound for probably the last 6 months now, and I just haven't had any time to really take it apart to look at it or anything like that. So I just stopped driving it for a little while, and then like I said, I just have a little bit more time on my hands, so I have all of the parts already on hand and on site, so I've just been doing a little bit of work overtime. Okay, and what you're looking at now is one of the rear calipers that I purchased used on eBay. Okay, it comes, I think, from the OEM stock is black, and what I did was I just kind of threw a little paint on it just to kind of give it a little bit of a new look. I'm not going to call it a rebuild because I didn't really take any of the things apart. To me, it's more of like a refresh. If you wanted to really rebuild any caliper, you want to make sure that you push out the piston with a little air tool. You can put air into the inlet opening here and use compressed air to push out the pistons, and then from there you can actually look into the housing. You can make sure that the piston is not seizing up in any particular fashion. You can replace these rubber boots, but like I said, when I pushed it out, everything looked fantastic. It looked better than the one that was on my car, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to keep it intact. I'm just going to paint it, make it look good, and then kind of put it back on the car. Okay, so the rear caliper, I think OEM, or if you went to a dealer, is going to be anywhere from $1,000 to almost $1,500 per wheel. Okay, so, and yes, like I mentioned, the only problem that I had was the parking brake actuator, so I could have just replaced the parking brake actuator, but like I said, since it pushed out the piston so far out, I would have really had to rebuild that one. So I figured, you know what, let me just go find a used OEM part somewhere on eBay or Craigslist, and in that way I can rebuild it, or kind of, like I said, refresh it from there. Okay, so I've had these parts now for the numbers are cut off, but it's from August of 2020. So like I said, the issue's been ongoing for a while, but I just haven't had any time. So I bought a used OEM, okay, 2007 to 2010 S8 front, rear, right and left brake caliper set, all right, for a total price of $450 shipped to my house, and this was on eBay. Okay, and I know that sounds like a lot of money, but I promise you guys, that is peanuts compared to what I would have paid if I would have bought OEM parts at the dealership. And I get it, somebody's gonna comment, oh, you could have just gone to Rock Auto or whatever it's called. No, I don't want to. Okay, if you're buying a used vehicle, a high performance used vehicle like an Audi S8, I think most people are lured in by the fact that, oh wow, these things you can get them for anywhere. I've seen them for $8,500 all the way up to $35,000. Okay, so depending upon the mileage, to me the mileage isn't really a concerning factor. More than likely for me, I go into a used car because of the service histories. Okay, so I think most people think, oh, I'll just slap on some, Chinese made products, and that's just not for me. I mean, a lot of people are doing that, and that's perfectly fine for them. It's just not something that I'm willing to do, especially when it comes to something so important like braking system. Okay, so so once again, keep that in mind. All right, so it's $450 for all four. Okay, and they all came with pads as well as brake lines. I took the brake lines off because, like I said, I wanted to repaint and kind of refresh this one, but it came with brake lines, brackets, everything, you name it. This guy probably got an S8 out of the junkyard, and he just started parting it. Okay, so so keep this in mind, $450 for all four. Okay, so that's the rear caliper. All right, and I think a lot of us, me including, I didn't realize how big the front caliper assembly was. Okay, and I think it's kind of a shock when you actually see it in person and hold it. Okay, so let me go and show you that. Oh, by the way, so this is the front pads. All right, so I have bolts left and right, but this is the front pad that I got from the eBay sale. Okay, so if you look, It's super meaty. I didn't check how many millimeters, but it looks practically brand new. All right. So I am not going to buy a new set of pads for the rear or the front. I'm just going to use the one that came with the caliper, okay? Because like I said, this looks fantastic. One of the things that you want to look for, of course, when you're buying, you know, calipers that already have, let's say, loaded with brake pads already, especially with these wear sensors, just make sure that all of the tabs are still in place. So as you can see with this one, somebody tried to pry it off, but it still looks okay. It's not that bad. So this will snap into place and it will hold it tightly. All the connectors are there, of course. You know, like I said, make sure that you're looking at that, and then of course make sure that this wire is connected, because if this is broken, it's going to trip the sensor, and then from there it'll tell you that you have low brake pads when you don't. As you can tell, I just noticed there's a little bit of a nick right there, but I don't think that's going to make a difference, you know. So I'm perfectly fine with this. This seems really, really fantastic to me anyways, okay? So this is the front brake pads, all right? And we'll go over the price later, okay? So let me put this away. All right, so let's get back to what I was talking about before, which is the front caliper assembly, all right? You guys ready? I hope so, because this thing's massive, all right? Okay, so that, my friends, is the front caliper assembly of a 2007 to a 2010 Audi S8. It's ridiculously massive, right? Let's just put it in perspective. Rear caliper, front rear caliper. Okay, so these will go around 385 millimeter size rotors. I don't know what that is in inches, but that sounds pretty big. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the rear brakes, which is I'm just gonna sand this down. I'll put a primer on it, and I'm gonna do this candy blue on top of it. I don't remember how many coats I did, but if I remember correctly, it was like 6 or 7. I kind of went nuts on it because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to chip or do anything crazy like that. But so like I said, let's put this away. That way I don't get any nicks on it when I'm moving this big boy around. All right, so this is the caliper for the front of the S8, and it's like I said, it's massive. I've never seen anything this big, okay? So I also wanted to give you a perspective on the cost of this. So once again, all I needed was the right rear caliper for my S8, but I couldn't find just the right rear caliper. I found that whole set for $450, and I jumped on it so fast. All right, so this is the caliper assembly. This right here, okay? This is the bracket that mounts it onto the hub, or the steering knuckle, the knuckle in itself, okay? And you have a bracket that holds your brake fluid line. All right, so this is the rubber hose, and this is your metal hose that connects to each other. It looks pretty simple. It looks just like, you know, any other massive brake caliper, right? So one of the things I also wanted to show you, the carrier bolts. Okay, so these are the 2 bolts that will connect this adapter, okay, onto the knuckle in itself. So what I did was I took them off, and if you have a wire brush, or if you have an electric wire brush that you can put onto a right angle grinder, oh my god, that's fantastic. All right, so all I did was I just kind of drilled 2 holes, and then I kind of, you know, stuck them in there, so then that way they wouldn't move around on me while I was doing this. But wire brush, take off all of the rust, take off all of the impurities that you can. This is a perfect time to check the threads, make sure that none of them are cross-threaded or anything like that. And if you have any doubts, go to the dealer, buy a new bolt. All right, it's going to cost you probably, I don't know, they're pretty thick, maybe, I don't know, $4-6 maybe, but then you'll have that peace of mind. Okay, so this is the finished product. This is what it looks like. Looks pretty good, right? Exactly. And I get it, it's going to be in the back of the wheel well, nobody's gonna see it, but that's the point, guys. I don't care if you see it. I know that I did that, so I know that I did a good job, and therefore it gives me pride, and it also allows me to feel a little bit more comfortable with the fact that, you know what, it's not gonna look like butt. All right, and that's the one thing I hate about going somewhere, you know, and having somebody do the work for me, because I just don't know what their work ethic is like. All right, so let's put this away. All right, so This, my friend, is a listing of all of the prices that I found at a Audi dealership locally to me, okay? Prices are going to fluctuate depending upon where you live, of course, you know? The caliper assembly right here, this is number 3. All right, so this is a wholesome $499.46 just for the caliper, okay? So I added it all up. Number 4 is your bracket, right, that I was just talking to you about. So that bracket is $250.86 just for the bracket, guys, okay? Number 5 is the pads. Pads are $254.25. I also got number 8 with the purchase of this item on eBay, which is the metal hose. All right, so the metal fluid line is $24.86. So that's the cheapest part of the list, I bet. And then number 9, this is ridiculous and absurd. It's an aluminum, I guess, bracket that holds the brake fluid line onto the caliper body. I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, it's this right here. This, yeah, this bracket, okay? All right, we're seeing it. All right, so it's a tiny little bracket, and it is, my friends, $314.14 for this bracket. Yeah, kind of crazy, but yes, that's how much that bracket costs right there. Right? What else do we have? All right, let's see. What else do I get? So I got that bracket, and then number 10, I also have the brake hose. That's $57.63. Okay, so adding all of the parts up, just in one caliper, all right, in the front of my car, comes out to a total of $1,401.20. Okay, so now you see why I jumped on that deal on eBay for $450 so quickly, because even if I didn't need it right now, I'm going to still, like I said, clean it up. I'm going to refresh it, make it look decent, and in that way I have it as a backup. But more importantly, like I said, it was such a steal that I had to purchase it, okay? Oh, and keep in mind, too, these little aluminum, it used to be really clean aluminum, of course, with the S8 logo right here. I couldn't find it on the parts store, but I know on forums, for example, I have a 2004 B6 S4 as well. These were going for like $100 on the forum if they were in good condition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, I'm going to sand it all down, paint it silver like such again, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some embossed S8 decals logo somewhere, I don't know where, maybe eBay or somewhere else. I'm going to smack that on this, and in that way I have a nicely refreshed whole entire front caliper set. All right, so I'm going to put that video together when I'm doing the work and all that fun stuff, but I just wanted to give you a rundown of what it is that I'm currently working on. And like I said, all of this was spurred upon because my right rear wheel was locking up, okay? And it goes to show you, though, if you're buying a high-performance car, even if you can afford it, okay, if you can afford the purchase of the vehicle, is not the same thing as maintaining it as well as the upkeep of it, because I think that's where people have these little, you know, love-hate relationship where they love the idea of having a V10, you know, super sedan, but then when things do break down, and they will because of the complexity of this vehicle, you're gonna hate the car, and it's not the car's fault at all, you know. So like I said, if I didn't let go, you know, that rear wheel for that long, I probably could have just replaced the pads, retracted the caliper, the piston back into the caliper, and then, you know, been okay for another 30,000-40,000 miles. But I didn't do that. I let it kind of just, you know, prolong itself, and then before I knew it, like I said, the piston is completely seized. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that extra caliper that I took off the car just yet. But I'll figure that out later. So, yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed what I'm working on, and if you do, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, let me know. Put it in the comment section, all right? And I will also put a video together to show you the right rear wheel that I've already fixed. I put in the, well, refresh caliper that I bought on eBay. I put in new rotors from FCP Euro, so that has now a lifetime warranty on it, and I reused the pads that came with the eBay rotors because, like I said, they were meaty as heck, you know. But yeah, like I said, I'll put that video together and I'll post it online hopefully next week or so. But once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and let me know if you guys want to see anything else in particular with the car. I've had it now for 2 years, and I thought I was only going to keep it for a year because, you know, I'm always looking for something fun and exciting to kind of drive, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I haven't found anything remotely close to the excitement of a D3 S8. I lied. I actually found one car, but I haven't found it locally just yet. So I'm gonna wait until a local vehicle becomes available, and then you'll see it on my channel soon. All right. So, but yeah, thanks again, guys. Have a great night. I'll see you guys soon.